Yo, Elliot. Yo, so today I got a question from my bro, Ito Aviv. He goes on to say, yo, E, I really appreciate that you stick to lifting for over 25 years now and other people like you who do the same. He says, I know people who stick to playing musical instruments for over 30 years. I know people who stuck to rock climbing for over 20 years. I think of these people as basically the same. They all have their own life practices. Rock climbing, lifting, guitar, playing. It's all the same in my eyes. I found my own practice and I feel very lucky for it. What are some preventable mistakes that you see people are making when trying to stick to their own life practice? Honestly, I'd be the happiest man on earth if 30 years from now I stick to the same things I do now. For me personally, it's body weight stuff, but I see it all as the same. Basically, he wants to know how do you stick to something that is your life practice for so long? And by the way, he's 18 years old, so he's kind of like trying to see into the future. Like, will I be doing this thing that I love right now 30 years from now? Because I admire people who do. And so I'm gonna tell you a little story, right? A little analogy or a little, just a little thing that I learned recently. So my daughter saved this bird, right? This bird fell out of the tree. My dog was sniffing and about to eat it. My daughter came, snatched up the bird, put it in a cage and started feeding it, right? Started feeding the bird, giving the bird water, talking to the bird. Bird got a damn name now. The bird's name is Bubba. Bubba, Bubba, Bubba. She walks around saying Bubba. Bubba flies onto her arm, right? Bubba is short for Bubba Booey. It's just my daughter. So one of the issues that she was having is that when she would open the cage, Bubba Booey would go away and she would freak out. Oh, Bubba Booey's not coming back. And she would walk around the yard going, Bubba, 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 Bubba. Like, where's Bubba? And you can see she's frantic in her eyes. Then she would relax, she would go away, she'd go inside, and in like a few hours or maybe the next morning, Bubba just is sitting on top of his bird cage. That happened about 2 or 3 times until she got to the point where she realized, oh, Bubba might go away, but Bubba's always coming back. And so there's this old saying, right? And it's usually related to dating, that if you let go of a bird and it comes back, that's your bird. But if you let go of a bird and it don't come back, that's not your bird. It's no big deal. Don't be attached. The bird just knows whether or not it's the right place to be, and it's just gonna come back. It's just gonna come back. And Bubba, no matter what, Bubba comes back. It's been over a month now. Bubba just keeps coming back. Why do I tell you this, right? In terms of your life practice, you might find something early in your life that just stokes your flame, that stokes your fire, gets you excited once, when you do it. But then, like, you're kind of a little concerned about, and justifiably, life is gonna go on. You're 18 years old, right? And so you might get distracted with other things that take the place of that first flame, right? And you might say to yourself, boy, I gotta get back to that thing, but I got school, I got work, I got family, I got all these other things that I gotta do. I got so many responsibilities. Man, I really wish I could participate in that thing that I always loved, that thing that I loved, that thing that got me going when I was young, right? And what I'm here to do is to tell you that your anxieties are unfounded. Don't worry. You're asking me for tips about how to avoid. Don't worry, don't avoid, don't stress out, because if that bird belongs to you, if that exercise belongs to you, if that life practice truly belongs to you, even if you let it go, it's gonna come right back. Guaranteed, it's gonna come right back. Those guys you say that played the instrument or rock climb for 20, 30 years, promise you there were a few years in there between where they weren't getting to the rock climber, they weren't getting to the guitar, they weren't getting to the gym, because other things were happening. In fact, life happens in a secular fashion. Life happens in seasons, and there are gonna be times when, even if it's something that rhymes and it's a part of your life, you're gonna let it go because it's just that season. But if it's true, if it's real, if it's of you, it's gonna come right back. It's gonna come right back. Here's another thing. Don't try to figure out what it is, right? Like you say, oh, it's my body weight training. Don't be so quick to wanna jot it down. Don't be so quick to wanna write it in stone. Don't be so quick to need to be right. Just notice where you are right now. I like body weight training. I like this thing. I could probably do this for the rest of my life. But then don't grasp. Don't hold on to it Don't lock it up in the cage and stare at it and say, you ain't going nowhere, right? That's a little freaky, that's a little bit weird, it's weird. It don't work that way. You gotta let that, you gotta kind of let it go. I'm not saying stop bodyweight training, but I'm saying don't be so attached to it that if you have to let it go a little bit, that is a big problem. You might have to let it go. And look. You come to Master E for the right answer. And all my answers, most of my answers come from my experience, right? Right? That's why I'm kind of like a big brother, right? I'm just telling you stuff that I experienced, that I seen, that I went through. And as long as you've known me, right? I started lifting when I was 14 years old, man. I lifted all those years, bro. When I grew up on this screen, man, y'all watched me from the time I was like 25 years old. I'm 42 right now. I've been making these videos for so long. But was there not a dark period? Was there not a period where Yo E decided he's going to do yoga? Yo E to yoga? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? I let lifting alone. I let lifting alone for a while, for quite a couple of years. And it was just a hankering. It was just a season. It was just something in my life, something in my soul that said, hey bro, put that down for a little bit. You know yourself a little too much through that. You a little too attached to that bird, right? Like my daughter. Open the cage a little bit and let some fresh air in. I let that fresh air in, bro. I was fasting. Right now I'm eating like a bodybuilder. That's why I'm so goddamn thick, right? I eat 4 meals a day. Rice and beef, a whole bunch of vertical diet meals, right? That's why I look swole right now. But did you know, go back on my channel. Do you know that there was a year where I stopped eating? I stopped eating. I didn't eat. I ate like 3 days out of the week. And I got down to 165 pounds. I looked like I had cancer. Not to knock anybody that had cancer, but I look sick, right? Like I'm on chemo or some shit. I was emaciated. And I was doing yoga, right? I looked like I could be in India, right? Eating bugs and curry. Because it was a season. I opened the cage, I let the bird go. But guess what happened when the bird is yours? Guess what happened when something's truly of your soul, it's of your karma, it's of your making, it is in your path? It's gonna come right back. I can't help but lift these fucking stones. These stones keep coming back to me. These weights, they just keep screaming at me. They just keep calling me. It's like a magnet for my soul. I can't stay away from it. And it can't stay away from me because it's my bird. It's my bird. The only reason why I know it's my bird is because I open the cage and I let it go. So there you go, bro. That's how I want you to think. You're 18 years old. You're going to have lots of life practices. You're going to have lots of them. Don't hold on too tight. Do what you can do. Follow the seasons. Trust your intuition. Open that cage. Let it go. And if it comes back, it's yours. Done.